everybody. Welcome back to The Tipsy Ghost. We are your tipsy hosts, Sarah, and Lindsay.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello. What's new?
Happy New Year.
2022.
2022, here we are.
Have you heard the
Who's
Taylor
excited?
Swift
Not me.
TikTok mashup of the 2021/2022?
I have not.
I'd sing it, but it would
I'd
not
love
be good.
for you to. I don't even need to
Turns
listen
out
to
she
Taylor.
says both 21 and 22 in two different songs. So somebody way more creative than me mashed them up, and it sounds beautiful.
Okay,
That's exciting.
It is kind of exciting.
Can
Like
you
Taylor
sing
Swift.
it to us?
please.
Well, have you listened to the 10-minute version of
Yes.
All Too Well?
Yes, I
No?
have.
No.
I
Are you
watched
refusing?
No, that's a long song and I haven't gotten around
You
to
know
it.
what?
I watched it
thought
on
so too.
SNL, and it was beautiful.
I thought so too. I know it's a long song, but somehow it doesn't feel that long.
It doesn't feel long.
I have been listening to Dr. Death on my way to work, and
Love
so
that one.
Yes.
It's like you need to
season?
brighten it up with some Taylor, except
The
this song's
season 3.
depressing.
Okay, yeah. Good one. Well, did you listen to the original All Too Well? Do you know the song? So I thought you were a T Swift fan.
Do you know
What's
the song?
happening?
I'm a T Swiftie.
Okay, all
No,
right.
I love Taylor.
It's an older album. I get it. Yeah.
I'm a fan from afar.
Okay.
But once I do get a hold of her album, like I have
What's
19.
a fan from afar mean?
It is what it is, Lindsay.
She's a voyeur fan.
The last album I bought was 1989 because
I love
It's probably my
19.
favorite
Yeah.
album.
obviously. And I'm afraid that if I listen to anything else new, I won't be as excited about it.
Yeah, I get that. Somehow she's very good. I don't know. I like
feel
all
like
the
I've
stuff
loved
that comes
everything
out.
that she's done.
I agree.
I did see her live in concert for her 1989 tour.
Me too. I was there with Ryan.
Oh my gosh, were you in Kansas City?
I was.
I was too. We didn't even know each other yet.
I was at the very top row.
I was like very high up too.
Yeah, I thought I was going to tumble down.
I lived in Wichita at the time, and my friend texted me literally 2 days before and said, I have an extra ticket to Taylor Swift if you want to come to Kansas City. And I was
Wasn't
like,
it the most fun concert?
yeah.
She's an excellent performer.
it was amazing. It was probably the best concert I've been to.
I totally agree. I can't wait for her to come back.
Yes.
And we're
I
gonna
know
have
you
to
guys
go.
didn't know each other, but I feel really left out.
We didn't even know
We
each
weren't
other.
even next to each other.
This was like, it was 2015, September
Ryan was
2015.
little. She was little. She
Uh-huh.
did not appreciate the T Swift concert.
It was
at
the
time.
week of my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I remember it.
How about that? Well, there's this part in her song that said, "It's supposed to be fun, turning 21." And somebody said 2021. They cut it, spliced it.
2021 was not fun.
Right. And then they put it with her older song that's like, "I don't know about you,
Mhm.
but I'm feeling
22.
And they made it say 2022. So,
And here we
you
are.
know what? It sounds way better than what I just said, but
Well,
What are we going to talk about tonight, guys?
Horridge House.
investigation.
Huh?
Horridge House.
Son of a Horridge.
Okay. We brought it back to that.
Winston and I had spooky vibes with our ghostly tone.
Ghostly tone. In case you guys missed that, we're talking about a haunted investigation.
It was at a place called the Horridge House.
Uh-huh.
Indeed.
We went back up to Iowa. It seems to be our home away from home.
We
Jeez.
love Iowa. Who knew Iowa was so spooky?
It's also a little stinky
Oh my
during
gosh.
during the fall time.
Lots of cow poop.
I think that's what happens when you drive through the
farmlands.
farmlands.
I mean, it happens.
Hashtag welcome
we're
to the
from Missouri,
Midwest.
so I mean, it's not like it's that different, but it felt extra stinky at this time.
It might be totally
Smelled.
ignorant of me, but
It's
I
true.
didn't realize that they fertilized at the end of the season.
I see what happened. Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, joke's on us. We learned the hard way. We learned the hard way that fertilizing season.
Is stinky. Who knew?
Probably all the farmers.
Yep.
Who knew that poop stinks?
Well, we're slow to the game.
So this was kind of a long drive for us.
5.5,
Uh-huh.
something like that.
Uh-huh. That's probably our longest this far.
Tell me about the horror. Bitch.
Oh my god.
Thank you for your pity laugh. I don't want it. I don't want
Okay, I
it.
take it back.
Horridge House is in Vinton, Iowa. The home was built in 1859.
Wow. So just like a few years ago.
Anyway,
Interesting.
1859.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
Okay.
a Dr. Hewitt Klingon.
Clink, clink.
What?
I don't want to try that again.
Just one more time.
Klingen?
Klingen.
Klingen.
Sounds okay.
Yeah, you almost have to smile while you're saying it.
Well,
Like,
I want to guess what kind of doctor he is.
well,
A doctor.
okay.
Doctor.
You don't know.
No, please guess.
He's a radiologist.
Okay.
He's a dentist.
Okay.
We will never know because I have no idea.
You're so full of it. Don't tell us to guess if you don't
Okay.
know.
She didn't know. I just wanted to.
It was fun for me, okay? An exact duplicate of the house was built across the street by a doctor, William S. Boyd. You can guess this one.
Oh.
What kind of doctor was he?
Family practice.
Okay.
OBGYN.
Oh.
Because it says boy. Right? Boyd.
No, I just
That was a
wanted
good
to
guess.
guess.
That was a good guess.
Okay, I don't know what he was either.
Oh my gosh, why are you doing this? I hate this
In my
game.
head, that's what they are. And
This
they
is the
were
worst
rivals.
game.
Because the lead was B, and he was like...
family practice versus radiology. I feel like they work hand
They
in
were
hand.
rivals, okay?
I said dentist. Dentist and an OBGYN.
They hated each other.
So they built the same house. They are opposing doctors.
Radiologist versus family practice.
Dentist versus an OBGYN.
This sounds intense. All
This
right,
is.
proceed.
Anyway, so those are the houses. And then in
Okay.
1867, he sold it to George and Elizabeth Horridge.
George. Guys, I forgot that we found a George here.
His nickname is George.
That's what we lovingly called him. I heard that. I was like, we are so clever.
Lindsay
Look
thought
at
I
us
was
go.
just saying like George really weird, but it's George.
Well, George Horridge is a mouthful. So
My
we
mouth
called
can't
him
say
George.
that. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to
Can
call him
you
George.
try?
No.
Mm.
You want me to say his first and last name?
Yeah, together.
Or
Together.
the- or-
Ship it.
George.
That was good.
Thank you. You hear how I have to slow down and focus? I sound like an idiot.
No, it was great.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
They bought it in 1869. And let's jump around to George. We want to talk about George Horridge,
I love
aka
George.
George.
Yeah.
He was born May 26th in 1833
Okay. He's young.
Yeah, just a
Mhm.
drop in the bucket.
in Washington County, Pennsylvania. He moved to Vinton, Iowa in 1858. He was a local tinsmith and a community leader.
I'm a little disappointed he's not a doctor, but
He works with tin.
Okay.
yes, I remember this now. 10. Okay. He's like a tin man.
Yeah, he is. That joke wouldn't have gone over very well because I think The Wizard of Oz is after
Yes, it is.
1850.
I
It
know.
is.
Well, you're
It
right.
is.
But yeah,
He was the OG tin man.
he sure was.
Nailed it.
Okay. Records show that he was subject to military duty in the months of June and July in 1863 at the age of 30, and he was a first sergeant during his time in the Civil War. This guy fought in the Civil War.
Wow, that's
Good
incredible.
job, George. Proud of you,
Because-
bud.
George married.
Depending on what side he was on.
True that. He's from the north.
For the Union Army.
Perfect.
Proud of you, George.
Stand by what I said.
Sergeant George. George married Elizabeth Taylor Rock
Okay.
on October 29th of 1863, who was previously married to George's business partner, Augustus Herman Rock. But he died in 1861 at the age of 38.
Scandal.
Unknown cause of death. So before George's marriage to Elizabeth, he lived with Augustus Herman, or A.H., and Elizabeth in their home in Vinton. And so it was,
Scandal.
you know, they were already living together.
Pretty much of a scandal.
So it was just
Ooh.
easy.
It was a forbidden
that seems
love
natural.
affair. No.
Okay, I went in a different way.
Forbidden love.
I went a different direction. He died. It was like, you know what? We're already living together.
Yeah, why not? And I'm like, forbidden love affair.
He killed him.
Elizabeth was 11 years older than George,
Oh.
which there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
After George and Elizabeth married, they moved into the Horridge House.
Okay.
Elizabeth Rock Horridge died in Lake Charles, Louisiana. So back to the house.
Okay.
Where George and Elizabeth moved in 1869.
Horridge House.
It's an excellent example of Carpenter Gothic style architecture.
I agree.
It's made of brick, believed to be of the local brickyards of the era, so locally sourced, homegrown.
Love it.
The original brass lion head door knocker is still attached to the front door, and it was dark out, so we didn't get to see it.
We didn't. I really wanted to, though.
No, but that was like one of the only things that was original to the home when they were giving us a tour. So that's kind of cool.
Yes. There is also a Romanesque sculptural relief, which is basically a sculpture. And it was brought back from Italy by George's second wife, Carrie, which we'll get to her.
Oh, okay.
And that's above the fireplace. And also, by George's second wife, they brought home a beautiful French pier mirror.
Yes, they did.
It was beautiful.
It's floor to ceiling, and
Huge.
they think that maybe they had to cut off the top of it to get it to fit in the room.
Yeah. It's huge, but
She
so
thick.
beautiful.
Yeah.
She was a thick mirror.
She's just stunning.
Mm-hmm.
So, Elizabeth Taylor Rock Horridge died in 1900, but George married Carrie Smith in Chicago 2 years later in 1902.
Okay.
George was 30 years older than Carrie,
Ooh, George.
so that 11 years is looking just fine now.
I'd say.
Carrie's mother, Catherine Smith, who was just 4 years older than George, lived with them in their home in Vinton during the end of her life. Carrie built on an upstairs apartment for her mother and also a lower level living area.
Mm-hmm.
Say that 3 times fast.
No.
I cannot. We all know that. I won't even try.
It was attached to the original kitchen.
Okay.
When her mother could no longer care for herself. And unfortunately, Carrie's mother died in the home on December 20th, just before Christmas of 1926. Later, in 1948, Carrie fell down the stairs of her home, causing her to break her hip. And she was admitted to Virginia Gay Hospital, where she stayed until her death on January 20th of 1949. It's also noted on her death certificate, just a fun fact, that the cause of death was chronic nephritis.
Oh.
What is that?
Thank you. It's inflammation of the kidneys.
Okay. I didn't know. I thought it had something to do with kidneys because of nephrology.
You
That's what I thought.
were correct.
Look at you go.
Look at me. I learned things.
Mm-hmm.
Basically a doctor.
Yes.
She's a radiologist, family practice doctor.
OBGYN.
Strong competition in Vinton for that.
I am very busy.
Specialty in teeth.
It's amazing I have a podcast with how busy I am.
With an emphasis in teeth.
All right. In 1930, George Horridge died of old age in the house that he had made his home.
Oh.
So in the house there are... Well, why don't we just go through the whole house?
Okay.
We can tell them all about it.
I was thinking while you were telling me that story, just me that story, that when they give us the tour that Carrie's mother, right?
Yes, Catherine.
Okay, thank you. I thought she had a broken hip too, and that they tried to keep her in the house as long as they could, and so that's why they kept her close to the bathroom there.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
I remember,
It's
was
just
it
interesting
her...
when you said that she fell down the stairs, broke her hip too.
Was it her funeral that was in the home? Or was it...
I think it was the mother.
Yeah. So that was one of the things they said could contribute to the haunted history was that they had funerals in the home back in those days, and they showed us exactly where the body would be in the viewing and all of that. So we kind of came in the back door. It's what they have open, so that's also why we didn't see the front door. So they had just shut down another location the Historical Society had, and so there was a lot of stuff in this home that they were trying to relocate.
So if you can imagine, like, the door we came through, there was a room there was an open pantry, and this room extended kind of outside the perimeter of the other rooms.
Kind of sounded like a sunroom to me.
Yeah, but I believe that that's where Catherine was staying.
Yes.
The
with
mother.
some creepy mannequins in there.
Yes, after she
Because
was ill.
It had French doors into the bathroom.
Exactly. See?
Which I had never seen before.
So that
It
room was
was
mainly
different.
full of stuff, so we didn't really do much there because that's
Right.
kind of where they were just putting everything.
Plus, it was very cold.
It was very cold. Yeah, this place didn't have heating
No.
except for our safe space.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But it's Iowa, and it was chilly. So we didn't spend a lot of time in there.
No.
But we did find some interesting trinkets in the
did.
pantry.
We did.
I don't remember exactly what they were, but they were like 100 years old cans of food.
Yeah,
and
old food storage and things like that, which, I mean, it's just kind of cool to see how advertisements have changed and marketing and all of that in the 100 years.
Right.
Packaging, what things.
Yes.
It's amazing how long things lasted.
Yeah.
It felt like a museum
Yes.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
But like things you can actually read. touch.
Right.
You'd be like, is this okay?
So when you leave that room, you enter the kitchen / dining area as well. And there's a bathroom there. And then off to the left, I said sunroom earlier, but really I felt like off to the left was a sunroom because it was surrounded by windows.
Yeah, that's the one that kind of butts up to the train tracks.
Yes, right up against the train tracks. That's where we slept. Or tried to.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah. That's where they had the table set up so you sign in and out. You write your experiences there.
Was
it's
lots
kind of like a safe space.
Old albums or almanacs. Like, I mean, just tons of stuff pertaining to the history of the town.
There is a lot of history jammed into the house.
Lots of journals.
Family Bibles.
Yes.
I mean, so many written things that was really cool to look at.
It was. Very cool.
And then you go back to like the kitchen dining area and there's the parlor off to the right. So this is where that huge fireplace that has the old sculpture, that's there. Connected to that is a second room, which is where the mirror is.
Yes.
Thick mirror.
Yep.
And then you're at the front door, and off to the other side of the door is the war room.
The war room. Yeah. Because it's full of war memorabilia.
Uh-huh.
And there is a lot in
There's
there.
a lot. From Civil War, they had some stuff from George Washington, I believe.
Revolutionary War, I believe we put, or we talked about. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff in there.
Lots of trinkets and memorabilia.
Leave the word to me, Lindsay.
Sorry, you say it.
I'm totally kidding. I already said it.
I think you're throwing an L in there
I
somewhere.
don't know what I'm doing.
Or just a real strong accent. Memorabilia.
Yeah, it's
I
something
liked it.
weird. Thank you.
So it's stairs.
Yes,
Let's go to the
and
stairs.
in the middle of there is a staircase to go upstairs. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful, grand staircase.
Yes. And so upstairs there are 2 bedrooms. One is kind of like a kid's room, I'm going to call it, because there was a ton of dolls in there.
Right.
I don't know what else to call it. And then the other was the master bedroom. Mm-hmm. Also, on the other side of the stairs, there's...
I think that's
how do you
used to be
explain
an
this
apartment.
place?
It's like
It's
got
an
a separate,
apartment.
yeah, it's got a separate
apartment.
door, separate entrance. It was an apartment, and we only spent a brief amount of time there because
we didn't go there by ourselves. I don't
No,
think.
we
Just
didn't.
on the tour.
It was cold. It was really cold over there.
What else was wrong with it?
Bats.
There were bats in there.
Allegedly.
And there may not have been. Honestly, even if you just mention that there might be, like, it's
That's all she
absolutely not
needs.
happening for me. You guys can go. I will stay in the car.
So the rest of the house is all kind of like how a historical society keeps it. It's kind of like a museum. It's got furniture. It's got all these things.
Yeah.
It's well kept. This apartment place was not like that.
No.
There wasn't furniture there. It's kind of like the servants' quarters is what they said. So there was a couple rooms there. There was like a bathroom that's not functional. There was like a kitchen area and then like a little bedroom place. But there's not like furniture in there.
Yeah.
It was just kind of lots of stuff. I think they kept their storage there, like Christmas trees and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for
But
sure.
they mentioned there might be bats up there.
And it was game over for me.
And it was game over for Sarah.
I'm not getting rabies.
There's also a basement that we didn't talk about, which, again, Sarah, why didn't we go to the basement?
Because there was a bat.
There was a bat. So
Allegedly.
there was a book that
I went down there.
She did.
Paid for a whole house, and we could only use...
You could go.
Listen.
I told you could
Some
go.
of it.
There was a book there where people write their experiences.
Exactly.
Like most places we go to have this. And so, of course, I looked through it and saw that people had reported there was a bat in the basement. Several people reported it. And so...
Of course, she tells her.
I mentioned it.
She also said that this bat chased them down a hallway. All right. And I was like, this bat clearly has rabies.
They were like,
Bats do not chase people.
we had to run up the stairs to escape the bat. And I'm like, I didn't tell you that part. I did tell you the part about the bat. So I went down by myself to investigate the basement first because Sarah was like, no.
No.
And it was kind of creepy. And so then you guys both came downstairs after I told her there was no bat that I could see.
You know, it was creepy in a good way. It was like, let's start there, shall we?
Okay.
Let's explain our experiences.
Cement walls. I mean, kind of like an unfinished basement that we see. But you come down the stairs and there's this huge open space to the left of you. And then underneath the staircase, there's like this tunnel.
Oh my. It was was
narrow.
straight out of like a horror movie.
Yes.
Like it really was in the best way possible.
I
like
didn't
you
go
could
down
film
it
a
until you
scary
guys
movie
came down there because it's completely dark.
Yeah.
So I had my flashlight and I called you guys to come down so there was no bats that I could see. And they came down and I was like, I'm not going in that tunnel. So Winston did.
I sure did.
You did.
You're very brave.
I wanted to investigate the basement, and we spent about 2 minutes down there.
First off, you call her brave. I'm the one who went to investigate for bats for you.
You're so brave.
I had to keep Sarah company. She was scared.
No, I was not scared on the first floor.
You were scared. I had to keep you company.
Does that make you feel better?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
She was scared of the bat, too. I'm the only one who was like, sure, I'll go see if there's a bat down there.
There is a rabid bat.
Whenever we go to Belvoir, I like to point him out, and then whenever Sarah leaves, I go up to him and shine my flashlight and just stare at him. They're cute.
They are not cute.
They are.
I'm not afraid of them like she is, but they are not cute.
They are. You're just misunderstanding them.
They are rabid creatures.
They're misunderstood.
Who carry disease.
They have families.
You know what? Maybe it's a ghost bat down there. That's why so many people see it.
We did not see it, but there was also a room further past the basement area.
A vampire who was in bat form. Dracula. And he's like, get out. I need to hang upside down in this creepy tunnel.
I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
He's like, you're imposing on my space. Mm-hmm. I get it. So
there was another room near the back of the basement that we didn't go into. Maybe that's where the bat was.
We called it the torture room, I believe. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's lovely, but it does look like it could be used for torture events. I don't know. It's hidden off back there. I mean, like I said, this could be the perfect setting for a scary movie.
So because of that, we did not stay long in the basement. I mean, the fact that we got Sarah down there at all is impressive.
I just want to say for the billionth time, you guys could have stayed. I would have been up there. Gladly.
Okay, so let's get to kind of the evidence. We did go everywhere except for really the basement.
And the apartment.
Yeah.
The bat areas.
Let's start on the main floor.
Okay.
So we went live a couple times. We started with Instagram Live, and we spent a lot of time in the parlor.
Yes.
And I had the audio from that section.
So we had recorders in the parlor and also in the military room, which is just kind of down the hall around the corner.
Yep.
And so by default, I also had during the live because we were loud enough that I could hear us.
And just to remind you guys, there was a creepy faceless Santa mannequin.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I do. There were so many mannequins in this house.
Yeah. All right. So before we actually go live, we had set up a couple of flashlights around the room, and we did get the flashlight to go on. And I'm pointing this out because it didn't happen a ton of times that night. So that was one of the few times that it did. And I made a statement that the flashlight is placed where I felt a tingle on my head when I had opened my door. And then we asked it to turn off, and it went off on command. Another flashlight turns on a minute later after we ask it to. I felt another tingle on my head, and Lindsay states, I feel weird sitting on furniture. I thought that is a weird thing to say because you sat on the floor.
I did sit on the floor. Listen, the Historical Society sometimes can be real weird about where you can and can't sit, what you can and can't touch.
That's true.
No, these people were cool.
They were cool.
They
had
here.
chairs set up, I think, for us. But
they were cool here,
on the floor.
But I just had that ingrained in my head. Don't sit on the furniture.
You're like, I feel weird sitting on furniture.
Why are you sitting on my furniture? This is a historical piece of chair.
Is it really?
Yes.
What era is it from?
Into the society.
It's from the millennial era.
Oh, okay. Not that far old.
Sounds
it's actually
important.
not. It's probably like 5 years old.
What a historical piece of society.
It's from the 21st century.
Oh my god, a classic.
It's from pre-COVID times.
I bought it from the museum.
My caveman ancestors, my Triceratops ancestors gave me that chair.
It's got a little cup holder on the side.
They
are functional.
Revolutionary. Okay.
We feel in the future they may need cup holder for thy wine. Okay, we used some dowsing rods.
Yes, I do remember that part.
And we got some answers, like appropriate answers. We were asking, George, are you here? And we got a yes.
That was me talking to George, yes.
Uh-huh. And at one point, right after we asked that question, Boydston and I both say on the audio that we hear a click across the house. So far away. I don't know if you heard it on your end over there. We'll have to match that up. And we said, are you still here? We got a yes. Are you a man? We got a yes. And are you in pain? We got a yes.
No, George.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said on the recording. Oh, I'm so sorry.
We're so sympathetic.
The flashlight turned on again, and we hashtagged feet gloves forever.
I forgot about feet gloves.
How could you forget?
Did you take a picture of feet gloves?
I took several.
She did, yes.
Okay, well, if you didn't get to see it, we will post it. Sarah, explain feet gloves.
I love wearing sandals.
Yes, same.
The problem is it was November in Iowa, and it was cold, and I forgot socks. And in Vinton, at midnight or whatever time we were trying to find socks, it's a little bit difficult. So we had to go to Casey's, I think is where we went to.
It was not a Casey's. It was an unknown named gas station.
Okay, we went to gas station, and I tried to look for socks there. Unfortunately, they didn't have any, so I had to find some gloves. I asked them if they thought I should buy some. They both said no. I bought them anyways because I said,
you guys did not come prepared. I was the only one who wore socks and shoes, and you guys show up in sandals, and it's November in Iowa.
Yes, I know.
I don't like things on my feet.
I wore sandals tonight.
I don't either. I prefer flip-flops all the time, but in the winter, I don't have a choice sometimes.
Listen, unless it's snowing, I don't wear tennis shoes and I don't wear a coat.
So anyways, I bought them. And turns out that gloves don't fit great on your feet. Your hands are different sizes. So they awkwardly hung off half of my feet and stuck out really long on my toes. So they were beautiful.
It was
they served a purpose though. So yeah, hashtag feet gloves.
Feet gloves. It was the most disturbing thing. And then when we finally get home later in the morning, I'm unpacking my little overnight bag, and I find these disgusting feet gloves in my stuff.
So we'll get to whenever we packed up, but we were packing up kind of,
in a rush.
And Sarah comes up to me. She's like, should I put these in Lindsay's bag? I was like, absolutely, you should.
I did not know it was a purposeful thing. I thought you just threw them in.
No, it was like Sisterhood of the Traveling.
We were waiting all day for you to tell us that you found them.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't wait. I actually wanted you to put them on your feet and take a picture.
No, they were disgusting. I threw them away.
That's hurtful.
God damn it. Sisterhood of the Traveling Gloves. Feet gloves. The spirit box at one point said nurse. And then it said shoe, and we all laughed and said, ha ha ha, socks, like feet socks. And we thought that was funny. It said the name Rebecca, and we heard clicks several times, like in real time, but I couldn't hear them on the audio.
Okay.
And we asked its favorite color, and it said white.
Okay.
That's what I got from downstairs in the parlor room.
Lindsay put the recorder on the shelf in the military room.
Yes.
And left and shut the door, and then the door opened back up. And
yes,
so
sorry.
Sarah and Lindsay worked very hard to debunk the door opening by itself, but they debunked it. Yes, strong work. Yep. I just want to point that out because we do actively attempt to explain things.
And it was pretty spooky. It just
because when it opened, it made a banging noise, so we wanted to make sure.
For sure.
There was a moment where Sarah was explaining equipment. We were on the live, and she was giving a tour and explaining equipment. And as soon as she stopped talking, a very faint man's voice came across.
No.
But it's like super faint. I won't be able to do anything with it. Just know that a man's voice was talking to you.
Oh my God. Was it George?
Maybe.
I want to think
we talked to him several times, we think, overnight.
The point where you guys ruined me is when Lindsay brings up a crawfish boil.
Oh, I forgot about this.
And then you guys proceed to tell me that they scream as they're being boiled.
Yes.
That is funny because I thought...
Fun fact.
I thought that was me saying it on the recording. That's why I didn't bring it up. I couldn't tell it was your voice saying it.
It was me. It crushed...
Oh, no.
It crushed my heart.
Fun fact, did you see now that it's illegal to boil lobsters alive in some states because of this?
Blessings. So then I bring up how I can't pick out my own lobster at Red Lobster.
I thought of you when I saw that on the news story.
I can't either. I've never been able to do that.
Anyway, so that's how you guys broke me.
Sorry, crawfish is really good. So I had the parlor recorder while we were doing our live.
By parlor, do you mean like the fireplace parlor?
Yeah, it's right by the fireplace was.
Okay.
I believe that's where we left it, right?
Yes.
Yes, right by the fireplace. Okay. So we're upstairs. I can kind of hear us very faintly every now and then, but it's not very loud. I heard a meow or a yell. Which we
Another
weren't.
ghost cat.
We weren't yelling, and we definitely weren't meowing.
Okay.
I hear a bit of a whisper, but I cannot make out what it is. I don't know if you'll be able to isolate that. And then I hear some shuffling, and then another yell, which again, we were not yelling. And then I hear a snapping noise. we're not that close that you would be. No. You can't even hear us talking at that point.
No.
But otherwise, that's really all I got while we were upstairs.
Okay.
So then we went upstairs. Mm-hmm. We went upstairs.
Upstairs.
To the bedrooms. Upstairs. We did not go to the apartment.
Yeah.
But in between the bedrooms and the hallway, we kind of hung out in the hallway a lot because there was a report of someone getting pushed at the top of the stairs.
It was Josh Hurd, owner of one of my favorite places, Malvern Manor.
We love that place and we love him.
He got to preview Horridge House because Horridge House is fairly recent, fairly new to the paranormal market.
Like this year, 2021. Well, last year. But 2021, they just opened up investigations.
Yeah. So I think it was also Lallman Paranormal, and we've been in contact with them a couple times through social media. So big shout out to them because they were the ones who kind of got us connected to this property. Yeah. So thank you for that. And I think they also had an experience at the top of the stairs as well.
Yes. Yeah. So we did hang out at the top of the stairs for a while. For how recently they've opened up investigations, there was quite a few occurrences up there. Yeah.
To be honest, we were on a live for TikTok, I believe. So we were talking and laughing quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I didn't get...
Were we?
Yes, we were.
We also did some Phasmobox on the live, though.
We did. It's just when we do that, it's hard to get anything...
Like any EVPs.
On a recording. Yeah. But right in the beginning, I made a note that there is a weird noise that I could hear. And I listened to it several times. And I thought, is that Lindsay blowing her nose? And then I played it and Lindsay was offended.
It is a demon.
It sounds like a demon. And first off, I do not sound like that when I blow my nose. I'm offended you thought it was me.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what it was. I just, you know, your brain tries to like normalize anything but demon noise.
So here's the sound.
All right, so we're upstairs. All right, so we're upstairs. All right, so we're upstairs.
Tell me, does that sound like me sneezing? Does that sound like anybody sneezing?
I was just grateful nobody blamed my stomach this time.
Oh, we'll get
Nobody's
to that.
Blaming the stomach. Okay. But it was not a stomach noise, clearly. And we are having a full conversation in the background. Like,
and I feel like you guys would make fun of me if I ever sneezed like that.
Yes, I would.
You would not let me get away with that and just ignore it.
What the hell that noise was. So, yeah, it is different, and it is exactly where those people are having the experiences with being pushed or touched.
In the recording, none of us call it out, none of us even acknowledge it. Which
no, yeah, we would have.
You hear that, and we would have acknowledged that if it was something weird. One of us did.
It is literally right up, like on the speaker of the recorder. So, anyhow, there was a point to. It was just right in the beginning again when we walked into the master room.
Yeah.
And I said the K2 went off a bunch of times. I don't know if you guys remember that. We thought maybe it was the phone. I stepped back and it was still going off a couple of times. And I think that's the only time the K2 went off. So just kind of interesting.
It is interesting because that K2, I don't know what it is about it, but it not like very rarely ever goes off.
Exactly.
So whenever it does, I like to think, and you know, I've tested it on actual electricity and it works.
Yeah.
It's fully functioning. It just does not go off. For paranormal reasons.
It will go off maybe once every few investigations. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll go places and then we'll go off the entire night.
Yeah. So I made note of that we tested it. I stepped back because I was on the live, so I know my phone was not on airplane mode. Right. I stepped back, but it was still going off.
Right. And it was sitting on the middle of the bed? I want to say the master bedroom?
It was not near me at all. I was kind of standing back by the window, so I can't remember if it was on the bed or on the floor, but it was far away. So there you go. That's about all I got from there. We did spend quite a bit of time up there, but
here's what I do remember is I feel like I was talking or listening to George.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
What happened on the Phasmobox?
Both. Anybody who was on the Phasmobox thought that it was a male like coming through.
An older male.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole time. That was the only voice coming through. Mm-hmm. And we thought it was George.
I had the last recording over at Horridge House, and this is when we left the building. So we are not in the building at all. No one is there. This was a private investigation in case you guys don't remember.
I guess we forgot to mention that.
Yeah, it was just private. So it's just us. So there's nobody in the house. And we left a recorder going in the hallway upstairs between the two bedrooms.
Where we sat.
Where we sat. Yeah. Kind of at the top of the staircase.
And got that creepy sneeze noise.
Yes.
Where Lindsay sneezed.
I am so offended. Listen, I know that I make weird burps. My sneezes are legit. And I would have said, like, bless me or excuse me or something.
It's just funny that I wrote, maybe Lindsay blew her nose? Like, of all things.
Maybe it's Lindsay?
I don't know. It sounded legit.
Rude.
Okay.
Rude.
I didn't mean to be rude.
Up there, like I said, nobody's in the house. We hear a popping noise. It sounds like something got thrown at one point. At one point, I feel like I hear, I don't know if it's a growl, a yell, a dog barking in the distance. I don't really know what it is, but it was pretty loud. I hear a couple thumps and bangs.
So I had the night vision from overnight while we were trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And it was across the hall, essentially. The parlor is connected to the dining room kitchen area, which is connected to a sunroom.
It's like where all, like we said, the historical society stuff is. All the books, all the albums.
Yeah.
All these older houses, they're beautiful, but they're all like, broken up into many, many rooms. So
I did not get anything on the night vision.
Interesting. Okay. So what happened when we tried to come back and go to sleep?
So, and I will say this, when they gave us the tour, they said there are no trains running.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will say that they hear a train coming through the night, but the only train that comes in is at like 7 a.m. and like 8 p.m. at night. There's nothing going on in the middle of the night. We're like, cool. Yeah. Can't wait to hear a ghost train, because ghost train sounds awesome.
It does sound spooky.
We went to bed probably 2 a.m.-ish.
Yeah.
It was also, I think, daylight savings.
Yes.
So it would have been like 3, but it, fell back.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We were doing a ghost hunt on daylight savings, so we had an extra hour.
Yeah.
We set up our air mattress. Sarah and I lay down. Boydston is on like one of the recliners.
Yeah. I was in a rocking chair.
Yes. She's in a rocking chair. You guys have your headphones in. I have my white noise going. We're trying to sleep. And 3:52 a.m. We are there.
Captain's log.
None of us, all 3 of us are awake, but we don't know that the others are all awake.
We're trying so hard to sleep.
And we can't.
But we're so tired.
But I didn't know that they were awake. And I'm just laying there awake like, why can I not sleep? You guys had taken sleep meds even.
I took 150 milligrams of trazodone.
And could not sleep.
That's a nice dose. I mean, it's not the highest dose, but it's a nice dose. And that on every single other night of my life has just put me to sleep within 30 minutes.
Yes. And we've been trying to go to sleep for 2 hours at this point because it's almost 4 a.m.
Okay, I did not take trazodone, but I took melatonin.
You took melatonin. I didn't take
anything.
Good
enough for you.
It's good enough for me. And I, yeah.
Yeah. So 3:52 a.m., all of a sudden the house is shaking. There is a huge train going by with lights.
I know. I see this light passing.
And keep in mind, Boydston and I have headphones in, so we're both like looking around at the lights. We're like, are we seeing
earthquake? Is this an earthquake?
And they told us that people think they hear a ghost train and they think that they feel the house shaking. Like this was in reports that we read from other people investigating. And all 3 of us sit up and are looking at each other like, did you hear that? Was that a ghost train?
There's no way that was a ghost train.
And we're all like, I heard that. She said there's no trains going until 8 a.m.
That was the most vivid train I have ever. I mean, the tracks are no joke. Probably 20 feet from the house.
They're right there.
Like
right
you can't park on that side of the house because your car will get hit by the train.
Yes. The house shook. So then that's at 3:52 a.m. So we lay back down. We're like, I heard that. That was weird.
Like, okay, we'll go. Surely there's no more trains. No more ghost trains.
4:07 a.m. Y'all, not even 20 minutes later. There's another freaking train.
So Lindsay jumps up and runs outside. She's like, God damn it, that's a real train.
I had to debunk it. I am in shorts. I am in a t-shirt, and I ran outside without shoes. I just ran outside at 4 a.m. and guys, it was a real train. There was actually a train. I saw it.
We saw it through the windows. We were like, maybe it's a ghost train. I don't know.
Maybe.
But Lindsay went outside. Unless it is a fully manifested ghost train, Harry Potter style. I don't know.
No, it was a full train. And so then
maybe we were at 9 3/4. We didn't know it.
Maybe. I love that you're doing a Harry Potter reference. Thank you. All right, so I come back inside, and at that point, Boydston's like, is anybody asleep? I'm like, no.
You mean after 2 trains passed us by, we thought maybe there were ghost trains, and there were, and we've also taken 8 billion nightmares? No, we're not asleep.
So we had this place till like 8 or 9 a.m. So at that point, Boyce was like, should we just pack up and go? Like, all three of us are wide awake. We're not going to sleep. So we're like,
we had like a 5.5 hour drive home.
Yes. So we're like, let's just like go. So we start packing things up. As we were packing things up, 4:23 a.m.
Oh, gosh.
Another train comes by.
And it was a real train.
We were all packing up the car. So you guys saw that train. So this was 3 trains in the course of 30 minutes. Between 4 and 4:30 in the morning. And I'm like, what is going on in this tiny town that they have so many trains coming through at 4 in the morning?
Listen, I'm willing to bet it's ghost trains.
And so
Hogwarts Express.
I just thought it was funny that they were like, people think they hear a train. It's a ghost train. There's no trains till 7 a.m. Bullshit. There was 3 trains. I documented the times. I saw them.
Lindsay. They were phantom trains.
It was so loud.
It was pretty funny, though, because we were like, oh, maybe that was just... No, we didn't hear that. We're like, wait a minute.
That was a real train. I saw it with my own eyes.
Looks like a real train. I can see it out there. Oh, that's weird. We'll just go... 3rd train. Okay. All right. Damn
it's time to go.
It's time to go.
You know what? We're out of here.
So we left at 4:30 in the morning after not sleeping and drove back 5 hours.
We did. Have we ever done that?
No. Like, we just knew, like, all 3 of us could not sleep. That's never really happened.
At that point, there was no point to try to...
After the 3rd train, I'm like, dude, I'm wide awake by this point. And so we all packed up and we left at 4:30 in the morning.
What do you think happened to us?
It was weird.
Well, it's weird that
never
it happened
happened.
to all 3 of us.
Yeah.
At least one of us can always sleep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Katie messaged us and she said that she read our message.
The owner of the house.
Katie's the owner of the house, yes. Mm-hmm. And she read our message and said that has happened to multiple people.
Where they can't sleep.
Where they cannot sleep.
I don't know what happened. I mean, true, the trains kind of really jolted us awake.
But we had been trying to sleep for at least 2 hours.
And just tossing and turning. And we were in a heated section. It wasn't like it was like a cold space.
But no, so this has happened to me before at McIntyre. It's happened to Sarah before at Malvern. And then it happened to all 3 of us. And so McIntyre and Malvern are 2 of our favorite places. Like, they're legit haunted.
Can I just say that the only person who's not had trouble sleeping is me, and I am the night shifter of the group, so I should be the one who has trouble sleeping.
Yeah.
And I can normally sleep in these places. It doesn't bother me.
Well, it's funny because, like, I don't feel bothered typically. Now, Malvern was different. Like, I felt bothered there. This one, I did not. I did not feel bothered at all. I was just like, ugh, I was just irritated. I could not sleep.
Yeah.
I'd try to wake up. Ugh, it was really frustrating.
If it was just one of us, or maybe even just 2 of us, I would have been like, sure, it's just one of those nights where you're not comfortable, you can't sleep. But it was all 3 of us. Yeah. And I know it's the unpopular opinion with one of us in the room, but I feel like
it's Lindsay.
It's potentially paranormal.
I think so too. And the fact that Kitty said that has happened to several other people just makes you wonder, like, what's going on? I mean, maybe not enough to, like, make people feel like something, oh my gosh, right in your face, paranormal, but like,
because we hadn't
clearly
had,
makes
like,
you uncomfortable.
We hadn't had any like crazy things happen to us that night. Like, we
you guys didn't feel any bad vibes the whole time we were there.
No. We were honestly kind of like feeling really comfortable. Like, this is grandma's house. We were just hanging out, like having a good time.
No bad vibes.
No bad vibes. It was very comfy. But maybe we just didn't pick up on those things like we would have at a place that felt maybe a little bit darker.
And really, the trains drove it home.
Man, those trains.
Literally.
So what is my Sarah rating? What do my Sarahs say?
On a 10 scale or 5?
On a scale of 10, 10 being most haunted.
It's really hard to say because, like we just talked about, there wasn't anything in your face, and I didn't get any, like, bad negative vibes.
Yeah.
But I do think that we have enough odd things to say that I do think there's at least some activity.
For sure. This is like one of the more interesting places that I think we've been to because it has like lingering type of paranormal stuff where not quite so in your face. So while we were there, I felt like maybe I would have said 5, 6, but when we listened back to our evidence, I'm
your sneeze,
like 7. The sneeze really got me.
The sneeze is creepy.
It is creepy.
It's terrifying. And I agree. That and the three of us not being able to sleep, which seems very minor, but I am a little more sensitive to that.
Yeah.
After it happened to me with a negative experience, that I would go with a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe, the more people that go investigate,
the more energy,
the more active it will be, like in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll go back and we'll check in 1 or 2 years and we'll see how things have changed, because this is kind of a good experiment. It's like, this is brand new to the paranormal world.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens after, a year or 2 of people coming in and out of that place.
And that was kind of cool to be one of the first people to investigate this place.
Yeah, I totally agree.
They opened it, I think we said in April 2021, and we were there in November. So 6 months.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to be one of the first. I am disappointed there was no ghost train. I was really hoping when I ran outside at 4 a.m. that there was going to be nothing there, and I'd be like, what?
Here's the thing. You saw the second train. The first train still could have been a ghost train.
Okay.
3 in a row.
I'm thinking all 3 were trains, and it was just a weird night.
Well, trains are cool.
Trains are cool.
Know. We'll never know. Katie, the owner, and her husband, they're amazing. You guys should reach out to them. We'll put their contacts on this episode as well as our socials. So please reach out to them if you're interested in anything in investigating the house. And then Lallman Paranormal, thank you so much for pointing this place out to us. We had a great time. And if you have any other places for us, please feel free to let us know.
Yeah. And on that note, if you guys have any places, like you said, to kind of let us know, you can also email us at thetipsyghost@gmail.com and go to thetipsyghost.com to find our socials from there.
Please give us a 5-star rating and a great review anywhere you listen to podcasts. We would greatly appreciate it, and it honestly really does help.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week to our haunted investigation of the Horridge House. You can always catch us next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.